Hey there, future Jaguars, and welcome to South Texas College. For today's Jaguar Talk, I invited Monica Benitez to explain the enrollment services offered through the Dual to Degree department. Hi, Monica. Welcome to Jaguar Talk.
Hey, Frank. It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Can you tell us about the services that Dual to Degree provides to students?
Yes, of course. So we are one of the few dual credit programs departments here under the umbrella of dual credit. So one of the first ones you often hear about is our dual credit academies, where it's a very cohort-based competitive option for our students. You also hear about our dual credit pathways department, which meets with students and making sure they're advised correctly in taking the right path to their certain associates or their core or their certificate. And then you have us. So we are a lot of times the enrollment piece. So you see us in three different ways, usually in the high schools. Is one, the first and foremost is through recruiting. So you'll see us through a student and parent orientation, which is probably one of our favorite things to do because we get to really talk with our community and say, these are the options we have to offer. These are the different benefits, the different resources, the tuition-free option that we offer our dual credit students. And so when we have these meetings, we realize that so many of our students are first generation, right? So there's a lot of questions to be asked. Parents ask a lot of questions. What does it mean for my child to take this class? You know, how will it benefit me and our family? And so the second piece is enrollment. So we do, from application, we assist and support our high school partners. So you'll see us on campus or virtually. Right now, all virtual, right? But you'll see us through the application process. You'll see us making sure we're screening the students, taking the TSI, and finally we get them registered. And so then the cycle starts all over again for the new semester. One of the third things that we do is the outreach. So we do many different initiatives in our office. So the different framework for our freshmen to our juniors to our seniors. And so we offer them different opportunities where we collaborate with departments so they can see a student life. What does it mean? How are we offering these resources to them? And so it's really nice to see kind of this whole student life cycle between recruitment through registration and then utilizing the different resources we have to offer.
So now that we're talking about enrollment, can you describe the process for a student to enroll into dual credit classes?
Yes, of course. So the first thing, talk with your high school counselor. They are the gatekeepers of your college career. They're the ones that know the different parent orientations that are happening, different recruitment efforts, and also the different courses and pathways that school specifically offers, whether it's academic pathways or it's career technology. So a lot of the times you'll hear some of our districts offering culinary arts, so welding, which are great options for our students, right? And so the high school counselor it's really having a one-on-one saying, look, I want to do this. How can I do it? So can you balance in your school schedule, or what extracurricular activities are you using or doing at the moment, band, sports, whatever have you? But also, are you up to the challenge? Because we know through our different accreditations and things like that, that our rigor in our dual credit courses are the same like any other traditional student. This is not a high school course. So it's really making sure that the student is on the same page of taking this course and taking up that responsibility.
The expectations.
Yes, absolutely, the expectations. And so after that, it's hitting the ground running, right? So the student will apply, the student will start taking their TSI testings, passing them. They'll submit the school will submit the different transcripts, and then we register, which is probably my second favorite thing to do, because when we had them here on campus, there's so much joy in them signing into Jagnet for the first time and seeing the registration icon and then seeing them click submit. You know, there's so many times that we ask our students, like when you're taking a dual credit class and they say yes, but they knew that they were part of it. You know, they were part of that movement, and it becomes real life. I guess you can say it comes alive when they click submit and they say, I'm in this, you know.
And it's that moment where they realize, I'm a college student. not just a high school student.
Yes, in some cases, even when we used to have them come on campus, we used to have them their student ID, which is always great to see because then it becomes even extra official, right? You have your college ID, you have a high school ID. It's always nice to be able to have those experiences here at STC and also at the high school level.
And so as a dual credit student, are there any other policies that they need to be aware of?
Yes, so and any student here obviously has certain different requirements they need to keep up. There's certain, as dual credit students, certain credits, limitations, there's prerequisites, there's TSI scores, we have to different meet. But also two important ones that I'd like to talk about today is depending how well you're doing in your courses, right, throughout your college career. And so first we have SAP, which is our satisfactory academic progress, and really determining that it goes back to financial aid, right? And so how well you're doing in your classes, how you're being monitored and how you're being monitored in the courses you're taking, but also your academic progress standards. Two big words, but it really ties it back to how well you're being supported and how well you're doing in these courses. They really determine where you stand to go through graduation, right? Where you're standing in your classes.
And so can you explain the difference between the academic progress standards and the SAP?
Yes.
And I'm reading it because...
No, yes, it's a lot, but academic progress first. You hear this through GPA, you hear this in the high schools already. Every letter grade you get is counted, it's being weighted, right? So as a dual student here at STC, we expect our students to maintain a 2.0 average, which is a B average. So that means as a student, you're bordering an A, you're bordering a B in your courses. And so that means you're doing really well. You're continuing to take the next course to the next course and you're on track. It's only when you fall below a 2.0 when we need to have some interventions for sure.
Okay, and if a dual credit student does fall below that 2.0, what are the repercussions of that?
Sure. So as FTC, an institution, we have different interventions in place to support the students. In an ideal world, every student will get an A, everybody has a 4.0. That's not reality. So there's certain different circumstances. I mean, 2020 is a prime example of that, right? And so as students fall below a 2.0, the different things we have is they'll fall first into probation, continued academic probation, and then suspension. So for example, probation, we have every student hold a space on their account so they cannot register. They would have to submit and complete a student success module. This module is much like a refresher course, and the student is refreshed on SAP, it's refreshed on academic progress standards, it's refreshed on the different courses, the rigor of what we expect our dual students to have, right? So it's kind of a reminder, like you can still take our courses, pass this test, and you're good to go, right? We're able to clear the hold, you can register. Now it's on suspension when we really have to worry about these students because they've continued to fall below that 2.0 status, right? Mm. So suspension, our counseling department here are fantastic. We have great licensed counseling staff who really meets with our students, and they offer a one-on-one action plan to see, okay, where are you going to be going? How can we support you in creating a plan for yourself to continue keeping your GPA up, whether it's retaking a course or taking a semester off or things like that.
So can you tell us about what happens financial aid-wise, how it affects them?
Yeah, so that's really where SAP comes into play, right? So as we know, our dual credit students do not receive financial aid. However, it's still being monitored. And so that's really a weird thing to encompass as a student because I'm not receiving it, so why does it matter? It does matter because every semester it's being counted. So there's 3 different ways that financial aid is being counted. One of the first ones goes back to GPA. So that's how these two are in a way connected, right? So we always need to maintain the good standing, that expectation we have for all of our students. So you need to do maintain the 2.0 average. The second thing is the 67 completion rate, making sure that we're completing the different courses we have in front of us, because cumulatively it's being calculated, and it's required through different federal regulations. So you're taking 4 classes. If you know you're not going to be able to pass 2 of those, you're already at 50%. You're not meeting that 67% role. Mm-hmm. Thirdly is just the time frame you take all these courses in. And so it's through financial aid every semester, as it's calculating, it determines how you're going to be receiving financial aid. So if every year, every semester, your GPA is struggling, or fluctuating, your senior year may be too late to make a difference. So it's these freshmen through junior year, you have to make sure we continue to keep your GPA up, keeping your courses, passing your different courses. The last thing we want is for a student, a senior, to graduate high school and not be able to receive financial aid. And so if we can really take these interventions before we get there to have the student be able to receive these federal fundings, then we will. And so that's what we do in our dual credit programs in our different departments, making sure our students succeed.
And so what are some of the tools that students have available to help them through this process?
So we have different great opportunities. So like I mentioned, we have so many great interventions, but we also have so many great resources. So as a dual student, like any traditional student, JAGNet is a great tool. So I would challenge the students watching, the counselors, the parents, that log on to JAGNet, check out DegreeWorks. It's a great way for you to see where the percentage of where you stand in the degree you want to complete, the different associates or certificates. And so you get to see the grades, you'll see your GPA and how many classes you need. So it's very motivating to see a student, a senior, that has 97% and you're almost graduating. So it's really nice to see a DegreeWorks in that aspect. You can really take advantage of the different JAGMail. You can activate your email account. You can get great discounts, by the way, using your student email. Those students that are traveling to campus, you can also receive your parking sticker. So you absolutely need your parking sticker to come onto campus. And really explore JAGNet and what it has to offer. The second is resources. We have the Center for Learning Excellence, great tutoring options. So your TSI, I'm sure as a student myself, we always need that second person to proofread our essays. So they can do that. They can assist you. The library can even be a further assistance, being able to ask through different APA, MLA, where can I find this book, this article, can I check it out? They have labs. And then also our career employer services. Our coordinator, the director, and the different specialists they have there can really bridge you into seeing where your career can lead, and really help you maybe even find a job, help you create a resume. That is the next step, right? And so there's so many different options available for our students to really continue their success and support. Because one of the biggest things is communication. So if you're not communicating that you're not doing well, you need help, then what are you doing? We want you to ask for help. We're like that mom shaking their head saying, no, it's not possible, but it is possible. Like, come to us. So that's all we ask for our students.
Yes, and it's very important for students and parents to know that, if you have any questions or anything, you're welcome to speak to us. You're welcome to email us or call us, or, there's just so many different communication methods, right, that we have available for everyone, not just our students. Mm-hmm. And so it's good for them to know that they can take advantage of those. And so for my last question for you is, do you have any advice for our students or maybe even our parents?
Yeah, so one of the first things would be communication. I feel like I've referenced this throughout this conversation.
Communication is key.
Is key, yes, to everything. And so if you're unsure about a class, if you're unsure whether you're doing well in this class, reach out to your instructor, reach out to your high school counselor, or reach out to us, because we're here to put you in the right direction. A really common question that we ask is who can I go to? And so when at STC, it would be us, it'd be our department, it would be dual credit pathways, it would be academies. We're here to be that bridge between your education and your success as a dual credit student. Take advantage of the resources we have available. And I challenge you, go onto the website, log on, check out dual credit, check out library, CLE. There's so many great things that you can really take advantage of. As a dual credit department, we really take pride in the success of our students. So any department here, you can ask for assistance. You can ask what we want, what we believe is our student success, traditional, non-traditional students, dual credit students, veteran students, anyone. You know, we're here to support our community. And we just want to also thank our partners, our dual credit partners, who are fantastic, who meet with us to really create these different deadlines to make sure our students are prepared for their courses and sometimes even their associates, and walk down that stage, you know, and receive their degree before even graduating high school. So it's really motivating. That was a long advice, but we love what we do, and we're here if anything.
Well, Monica, it was great having you here today.
Thanks for inviting. I was really happy to talk about our dual credit offerings for sure.
If you have any questions about enrolling into dual classes, make sure to speak to your counselor. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at STC Jaguars. Remember, Jaguars, stay exceptional and keep on learning.